Barack Obama is opening up about his 8 years in the White House as the nation's first African-American president. In this wide-ranging, multi-part interview with The Atlantic, the outgoing commander-in-chief gets personal about his views on race and politics. He talks about growing up as a biracial child in Kansas and why people lean on stereotypes. He says, quote, "The suspicion between races, the way it can manifest itself in politics, in part comes out of people's daily interactions and the fact that we're segregated by communities and by schools and our churches and people's memories passed down through generations." He goes on, "I think what I did not fully appreciate when I first came into this office was the degree to which that reality would be the only thing that a large chunk of the electorate, particularly the white electorate, would see." Joining me, Rich Benjamin, author of Searching for Whitopia, and Michael Nutter, CNN political contributor and former mayor of Philadelphia. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for being with me. Rich, let me quote the president here. This is when he talks about some of his struggles as being the first black president. Quote, "There is no doubt that there have been occasions during my presidency when I've said, y'all just would not do this with anybody else." Now, obviously, the whole birth certificate thing is most salient example. Right. Part of what's been difficult, he says, is untangling the degree to which some of these issues are because of race, and some of these issues being reflective of just a coarsening of the political culture and a sharpening of the political divides. What do you make of that, and do you think he's saying that because he's a Democrat, because he's had a tough time with Congress, because he's black?
Well, Brooke, we definitely had a Republican Congress who would have been an obstacle to any Democratic president. But I understand the difficulty he's talking about in untangling race from these issues because his opponents made immigration reform, healthcare reform, public spending. Race became a proxy for these issues. And you heard dog whistle politics into his presidency and even in this campaign. And when your opposition welds race into these issues, indeed, we shouldn't be surprised that it's difficult for this president to untangle what's race and what's not race.
He also talked about the full weight of his first election didn't hit him until his second term. He said the first inauguration, he says, is like your wedding in the sense that it is a joyous moment and occasion, but you're so busy and kind of stressed. It ends up going by without you even really knowing what's happening. The second one you could savor. To be able to win a majority of the vote the second time indicated that we had worked with a broad cross-section of the country and they trusted what we were trying to do.